The funding for autism research is so low compared to other childhood disorders. Here are some statistics. According to the Autism Society website, funding for childhood leukemia is $300 million and strikes 1 in every 25,000. The funding for juvenile diabetes is $140 million and strikes in every 1 in 500. The funding for autism is $15 million and it strikes 1 in every 150. These are staggering differences in numbers. It is clear that because autism, although life-altering, growing rapidly, and arduous to deal with, is not viewed as high priority because it is a developmental disease and many have misconceptions about it. The blame being on the medical and mental health establishment for the increase of autistic children is absurd. The Autism Society defines autism as a complex developmental disability that typically appears during the first 3 years of life and affects a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. Autism is defined by a certain set of behaviors and is a spectrum disorder that affects individuals differently to varying degrees. Many people are unaware of this fact. Not just any parent can get a diagnosis of autism for their child. Maybe these parents should just take Savage's advice and use the obviously remarkable parenting skills of his father and tell their children to stop acting like putzes and behaving like fools. I wonder if this would work. If it does, then he just cured autism. Be patient with me. I have autism. Autistic children have so many obstacles to overcome which are out of their control. It is vital that our society address, educate, and denounce ignorance about this puzzling disorder. These children and parents have enough to deal with. Before people make judgments about the parenting skills of a parent of an autistic child, maybe facts should be used to form those opinions. In the book, There's a Boy in Here, Sean Barron and his mother share their experiences in dealing with Sean's autism. Sean shares how he viewed various situations or experiences, and her mother then shares her perspective on the same situation. The book gives a great insight into the mind of an autistic person. Here's an excerpt of Sean's experience swimming as a 5-year-old. He writes, "In the swimming pool, I felt absolute terror. Even though I could feel the bottom of it 1 minute, I knew I could be sucked under the next. I only knew that the pool could be bottomless and it could kill me." Autistic children often misbehave because they do not understand the world around them and have communication problems. Many autistic children cannot speak. It is necessary for the parents and teachers and society to understand this somewhat to help the child to behave and relieve the child from this stress. Michael Savage never apologized for his comments. Instead, here was his response. "My comments about autism were meant to boldly awaken parents and children to the medical community's attempt to label too many children or adults as autistic." His comments said no such thing. They were an over-the-top exaggeration of how he really feels. Savage called these kids brats, idiots, and putzes. I am just wondering if his father is around to tell him to stop acting like a putz or not be a fool. If he is, I wish that he would. As a result of his comments, he lost a number of sponsors, including Aflac, Radio Shack, Home Depot, Sears, and Direct Buy. And although his remarks were completely off the mark, it did bring attention to the subject of autism, which is desperately needed to be addressed by our society.